Can we get ham? I'm sick of lobster. Yeah, all the kids at school have ham sandwiches.
That's enough.
Ooh, cereal.
I said that'll be enough.
The Soviets want to send a dog into space. I think we should send the Prime Minister.
I'm concerned that Diefenbunker isn't taking the Soviets seriously.
What do you expect the man to do? It's the Americans and the Soviets. Leave us Canadians out of it.
They dropped the bomb. We don't want to get caught in between.
You think they're going to drop a bomb here in Nova Scotia?
If the Soviets bomb Maine, we breathe the same air. And we have all those radar stations. What do you think those are for? And I heard something about that seafood building out there in Tibert.
You've got shine in that coffee, old-timer.
Civil defense will be there to protect you. I don't get it.
Too young, you're not supposed to get it.
Yep, you're too young. Back again, gentlemen.
This little store is the extent of our social life off-base.
Back on alert, so just coffee and cigarettes, please.
Sure.
And the way the conversations are going about the Soviets, I wouldn't be surprised if World War III broke out.
Do you boys have anything to do with that nuclear shelter they're building?
Yeah,
We are not privy to any of that information, so...
Oh, thanks for this.
It's always nice to see you boys. What's a nuclear shelter? For an atomic bomb. Like, you know, we hide under the desks at school? But they only let kids over the age of 12 in, so gets you out.
This is the Iron Curtain, a wall of concrete, iron and steel.
Large queues have been building up at all of East Germany's crossing points, including the new openings made in the Berlin Wall during the night.
Have you ever been to the Berlin Wall?
No, never.
The fact that we've got remnants of it here in Truro, Nova Scotia, like, goes to tell you how massive it was.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I was born in the 80s. I mean, it's the tail end of the Cold War. I don't really have any idea what it was like to grow up in that time. And I think it's really weird when I think about my mother. Like, she was watching the moon landing, and she was like falling in love with the Beatles, getting married, and the whole time she was like, well, I really hope it doesn't also rain nuclear bombs in Eastern Canada. Like, that was a real social anxiety.
Wow.
And I'll never really fully understand it because I was raised on Nintendo and fed like a really steady diet of 90s films that told me that Canadians and Americans were friends with Russians. It was really gross when that whole world changed.
Russia's full-scale invasion with attacks across Ukraine.
The Russian military now being directly involved in fighting Ukrainian government forces.
So are we living through a new Cold War? Because I know nothing about the first one.
The Cold War started following the Second World War up to and including the fall of the Soviet Union in the early 90s. It spans decades, it spans many administrations, many political figures, and many major incidents. It's a huge part of the 20th century.
As a maritimer, I'd like to know more about our role during the Cold War. To do that, I'm traveling to Nova Scotia's own Cold War relic, the Diefenbunker, an underground fallout shelter used for the continuity of government if nuclear war happened. I'm going underground to gain first-hand experience of what it would have been like if the Cold War went hot. And if you're anything like me, you're probably asking yourself, what nuclear bunker?
Well, the Cold War is often viewed as beginning just after World War II and ending around the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989.
Here in a remote region of Canada, on the spot this week visits a key base in the North American defense system.
Canadians were immediately at the forefront of the situation. because they were sandwiched between the two competing nations. Canada had nuclear bunkers, NATO deployments in Europe, and even hosted nuclear weapons.
Where about you from?
I'm from Ottawa.
Ottawa? And you?
I'm from Alberta.
Oh, long, long way away.
You know, Canadians were not bystanders. On top of that, there were questions of civil defense and questions about Canada's own sovereignty in the Arctic, as we shared a border with the Soviet Union.
So the first half of the 20th century was marked by world wars and significant economic growth, national growth. We saw patriotism growth at another level really after the world wars, a sense of pride in your nation. And the emergence of these two superpowers, the Soviets and the United States, and they really are living off of two very different ideologies. Those ideologies being communism and capitalism.
Behind the heavily patrolled boundaries live 1 billion people, captives of the communist empire.
The Cold War was a war of ideas, primarily. And wherever the ideas of the West and the East met, it was naturally a competition. Obviously, we know this spilled over in hockey. We know it spilled over with the space race. I mean, obviously, it was a war of ideas, and wherever you can have ideas and competition, that's where those battlefields will be.
So for those who lived through World War II, the Cold War was this familiar landscape of us versus them. It gave an enemy to still keep fighting against.
This is our bunker room, one of the many rooms in the museum, and if you'd like, I'd give you a tour.
Yeah, I'd love that. Thank you.
Sounds good. My name is Wilfred Crow. I'm from Debert. I'm on the board of executives and one of the people who look after the museum.
So the constructions of these bunkers exemplified Canada's commitment to civil defense on the ground in Canada. They're symbolic because there's something material and physical that you can see on the Canadian landscape that says, hey, the Cold War was here. And it means that we're putting people into jobs that are directly related to the Cold War on Canadian soil.
So I was a little bit blown away when I've learned about an actual nuclear fallout shelter in Nova Scotia. So I had to come here to see it myself. And
well, that's the reason a lot of the tour people were that way too. They knew of it or heard of it. They wanted to actually come see it. A lot of people come in on a tour, didn't realize the place was here, and they're quite surprised actually. Yeah, then they asked their history about it, and really, it goes back that far. I said, yeah. So there is a bit of a disconnect.
I don't know much about it. So my goal here is to learn more about the Cold War, learn more about what we were doing as Maritimers.
Yeah.
It's a wild concept.
Oh, it is.
It's wild to think that there was a true anxiety that we would actually go to the extent to needing a nuclear fallout shelter, a bunker here. So what can you tell me about the bunker itself? I don't know very much about it yet.
It's 2 stories. And the bottom story is where all the work was done. All the map rooms and the communications and all that stuff was all downstairs.
Gotcha. And when did the bunker get built?
62, 63 they built it. It took them 2 years to build it.
So there's a couple Diefenbunkers across Canada, correct?
Yeah, there's 6 of them. Yeah.
It is such a big explosion, it can smash in buildings and knock signboards over and break windows all over town.
They start creating places of safety that, in case of a nuclear war or something happening on Canadian grounds, even though this seems outside the landscape of what's happening in the Cold Wars in other parts of the world, it puts Canada on the map and says, hey, we need to do something at home. So we start seeing drills in schools. We see cities set up evacuation drills.
That's why these children are practicing to duck and cover just as you do in your school. We all know the atomic bomb is very dangerous.
And we see a situation where bunkers, that is nuclear fallout shelters, are seen as important to the Canadian government to protect the government itself, military, and even media.
Well, the first and largest bunker was built in Carp, Ontario, near Ottawa, and it was a huge underground facility that spanned 4 stories and built with durable concrete to serve as a nuclear fallout shelter. These shelters were fundamental components of the continuity of government plan in response to the threat of nuclear war. They were capable of accommodating up to 500 people in Ontario and up to 300 people in Debert, Nova Scotia. And they were stocked with enough supplies to sustain its occupants for about a month.
Well, I think it's mostly a steel frame and cinder brick. The roof's only about 18 inches thick. It wouldn't take a direct hit. It's just a fallout shelter. Like a lot of people didn't know it was being built or what it was being built. You had to be on the list to get in it. Big shots in the politicians in Nova Scotia and the Maritimes.
And in the event of the crisis, the government officials would be able to coordinate responses effectively from the war room in the bunker.
What I'm looking at right now screams fun. What is this?
This is our alert status board for missile crisis. NORAD had it up, and this is where she's at now. If the situation got worse, that's Cuban Missile Crisis.
DEFCON 3?
DEFCON 3, and here, and this means the missiles are deployed.
Well, not right now, right?
Not right now, no, it's just simulation. So
yeah, of course.
You're good.
Just to clarify.
Yeah, you're good, yeah.
Who can adjust this? Who's in charge of changing the...
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister? Oh,
Same
okay.
as the States, the President did everything down there, and he did it all from CARP.
Oh, okay.
So he'd be in the bunker by then. Chain of command that come down through from CARP, everybody got it.
Gotcha.
Out west and down here, they got the same message.
It was under the Diefenbunker government that these bunkers would come and be built. So the Diefenbunkers were nicknamed after the Prime Minister at the time, John Diefenbunker.
Right. Well, the nickname was dubbed by the opposition parties at the time, which I always found to be strange because although Diefenbunker authorized the program, it was the opposition Liberals under the leadership of Louis St. Laurent who investigated Canada's civilian and military preparedness and actually recommended the building of the emergency headquarters near Ottawa and many other smaller regional bunkers in each province. And could it have been named Uncle Louis's fallout shelter?
My real question for you is, how much can I buy this for?
I don't know. Well, shut the cameras off, I'll make it even.
Sounds good.
This forgotten bunker fascinates me, so I decided to experience what life would have been like for those who lived and worked there. For the next week, I will be leaving my family back home to immerse myself in the Cold War in Nova Scotia.
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good, how are you?
Good, we're just arriving at the bunker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be heading in now, so I'll probably connect in a few days.
Okay, good luck.
Thanks, love you.
Okay, love you too.
Bye.